Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Owen, Niall and Greg. This is a betting tips show for the rematch between Opetaia and Mairis Briedis, which is, of course, chief support to the massive undisputed heavyweight title fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Gents, got ESBR's finest when it comes to betting tips. It's a bit of fun to have all four of us on this video. We're going to whip through each of the three of yours betting tips and compare, and then we will, of course, see which tips come through on Saturday night. As always, if you're watching this video, this is just a bit of fun. It's a few betting tips. Please don't go gambling large amounts on what any of these chaps have to say. It's just a bit of fun. Owen, I'll start with you. What is your betting tip for Opetaia versus Briedis?
So I've gone for Opetaia to stop Mairis Briedis in rounds 5 to 8. Bit of an awkward price. It's 14 to 5, so just under 3 to 1. I just think Opetaia first fight against Briedis, he had a broken jaw. He still won fairly comfortably. Briedis obviously inactivity, and I know it was almost a step down in opponents with Jordan Thompson and Ellis Zorro, but I just think the way Opetaia absolutely just demolished the pair of them. I think he's a man on a mean streak, and Briedis in activity. I think he's just going to break him down and stop him.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a really strong tip, to be honest. I think Opetaia, look, we saw what he did against poor Ellis Zorro back in December. It was a first round stoppage. But look, credit to Mairis Briedis. He's kind of, whether he is still a top level cruiserweight, I'm not sure, but he has operated at a very high level and is arguably come close to beating Alexander Usyk. Let's kind of not forget that a few years ago. So yeah, if like the Opetaia's, I think most people would go for an Opetaia KO here, but yeah, it definitely could take him a little bit of time to get to Briedis, but we shall see. But yeah, not a bad tip to get us started. Niall, I'll go with you. What's your betting tip here? You going for a Briedis kind of to upset the odds here, an Opetaia stoppage, something else? What are you going for?
As you said, a lot of people probably would go for an Opetaia stoppage, especially with the form that he's been on recently and the highlight reel KO of Zorro. But the one thing I kept having to remind myself here was that Mairis Briedis, he's been inactive, he's seen better days, but he's not Jordan Thompson or he's not Ellis Zorro. You know, he's absolute light years ahead of both of them, no disrespect. So I do think Opetaia will win comfortably, but I'm going for a points win at 9 to 4. You know, I think looking on what happened the first fight, I know Briedis has been inactive since then. There's been the Jake Paul nonsense of him calling him out, you know, but that's for another day. But Briedis gave him a lot of problems that first fight, you know, broke his jaw, and I do still think he's a quality operator. So I think Opetaia will get it done, but I think it's going to be on points again. So yeah, 9 to 4 points for me, but a comfortable decision in the end.
Yeah, and I think it's really telling that it is only 9 to 4. We're not seeing odds of like 3 to 1, 4 to 1 for Opetaia to win on points. If you consider those kind of stoppages we've seen last year, the bookies recognise he's not up against the Jordan Thompson or an Ellis Zorro in this fight, as you said. So again, a good tip, and it's really interesting that kind of it's not of bigger value if I'm honest, but no, really interesting. Now we'll see what happens on Saturday night. Greg, what is yours? So we've had a bit of a mixture here between Owen and Niall. What are you going for?
Yeah, I picked up on a few things that Owen said there. Part of my decision for the tip that I'm going to give is I just remember, although he was a great fighter, we don't know if he still is. This was a guy that dedicated a lot of time to chasing Jake Paul, and now he's in with the best cruiserweight in the world. So trying to pencil that together, he was chasing Jake Paul. He's been out for 2 years. And whether it was Ellis Zorro and Thompson, he looks as though he's getting better and better all the time, Opetaia. And if he's getting better and Briedis is inactive, something's got to give there. So, Elliot, I've looked for a bit of value in this fight, and I've seen for Opetaia to win in rounds 1 to 6. That's currently sitting at 7 to 2. And I just think with the inactivity and things of Briedis that might be worth a small punt on that for me.
Yeah, for sure. I think with Briedis, it's not just it's the inactivity, it's the age as well. 39 years of age now. you don't get that many people still boxing at that 39 years of age. He's going up against Jai Opetaia, who's still only 28, by the way. I personally thought Jai Opetaia was a bit older than that, but I think, as you said, Opetaia's getting better. So again, look, I know I'm kind of sitting on the fence here, but I like all of the tips that all three of you have given for individual reasons. But we'll let everyone kind of comment and give us their opinions on your tips, maybe giving their own tips. Who knows? And we'll see what happens on Saturday night. Just finish off, gents. Interested in just having a bit of fun here. Obviously, one thing about gambling is people do it differently. It's low stakes, not low stakes. People just kind of play it safe. So people go for something wild, which has been done in this group from time to time. So I'm just going to ask you to give me a round that you think Opetaia could win this in. This is more of a kind of like maybe a prediction rather than a betting tip. Niall, I'm going to give you the option of doing this because I know you're going for points, but I'll start off with you. If you want to give me a round that you would kind of put
pound on. As you say, I've got points here, and to be honest with you, I will be very kind of surprised and impressed if Opetaia was to stop him. So for the sake of picking around, I'll say late enough, round 11. I'd say if I had to pick for Opetaia to get him out of there, I think to give Briedis credit for his toughness, I'd say 11.
Yeah, I'm seeing odds of 16 to 1 here. So I wouldn't say that was crazy for round betting if you asked me, but yeah, 16 to 1 for round 11. Owen, what round are you going for?
I'm thinking about it. I'm going round 6, sort of halfway through the fight. I think Opetaia's going to feel him out, see if it's the same Briedis he fought previously. Is it the Briedis that wanted to cash out with Jake Paul? If it's that one, then Jesus Christ, he'll be stopped inside about a minute. If I had to put a gun to my head, I'd say round 6. I think once he feels him out, starts to break him down, I think maybe not necessarily a highlight reel KO. I'd think it'd be a referee stoppage in round 6.
Okay, I'm seeing odds of 12 to 1 there. So again, not crazy odds for round betting if you ask me, but 12 to 1 nonetheless of round 6. Greg, we'll finish with you. What round are you going for?
Yeah, I'm not far away from Owen. I'm trying to think about the fight in my mind. As I say, it's a guy's been out for 2 years. Could he get caught cold early? It doesn't make him a bad fighter. It's just if you've been inactive and you start getting hit with heavy shots, it can get you. I've got a feeling about round 5. I don't know why. I just think that it might be one of these ones where it starts off pretty slow. Opetaia gives him the respect that he deserves. And then the first time that he starts unloading, he might hurt him. So round 5, I think Elliot is kind of jumping out at me.
Right, round 5, same as Niall, 16 to 1. So it's interesting. Just for the record, chaps, I think early in the fight you're seeing kind of those wide odds. Round 3, for example, is 25 to 1. Round 2, 25 to 1. Round 1, which Owen mentioned, a possibility, 40 to 1. So anyone fancy if you consider Opetaia won his last fight in round 1, for him to do the same in this fight at 40 to 1, not bad if you're really looking at value and you kind of want to put a pound or 2 down. But we will see. I feel like we've discussed this in great detail and it's going to be embarrassing if none of these tips come through. But we will see. Greg, Owen, Niall, thank you very much for your time, and I will speak to all of you again soon.
Cheers, take care.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, guys.